A while ago on TikTok, it was trending to go to the Red Cross, and if you donate blood, you will get a free Snoopy shirt. It was really cute. Everyone was talking about it. I really wanted one. So drive all the way down there. I walk in, and the waiting room is full of other Gen Zers who also saw this trending on TikTok. I felt very comfortable as all my people. I go up to the guy. I check in. I was like, I'm here. I have an appointment. He's like, oh, you just have to fill a little questionnaire on your phone, and then we'll call you up when we're ready. He said, perfect. I sat down. The questionnaire, 80 questions. If I have AIDS.
Good God.
Have you had AIDS in the last 8 weeks? Every single question. So I go through yeah. But I go through the entire questionnaire, and then by the time I'm done, I'm the last person in the waiting room, and they call me up, and some sweet lady goes like, Kurt Skeleton? And I go, yes. And she picks me up. We walk over, and we pass by this room, and it is not even like a room. It's like a really thick corridor. It's just filled with hospital beds, half set up, people in them, all just looking like zombies. Like they're all sitting there. They got their blood taken out of them.
Ew.
They put a TV screen 2 inches from your face, and you put on headphones just like this over ear ones, and it's like looking at the screen. I'm like, this looks like Inception or something. So we walk by all those. She takes me to a little side room, and she has to sit me down and ask me more questions and fill out some paperwork. She has to get my weight, all those things. And we sit down. She's like, okay, I just want to double check a couple things. Are you sure you don't have AIDS? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure. She's like, I don't believe you. We're going to test your blood before we can donate it. I was like, sounds good. And she pricks me on the finger, and I see a little bit of blood. And this should have been my first lesson that I'm doing something wrong, because I see a little bit of blood on my finger, and I go, ooh, and I like look away, and I'm like, oh, my tummy kind of hurts. And then she goes like, oh, look at this. And I look over, she's holding my finger, and she goes, and she like squeezes my finger till blood comes going down. I'm like, oh God, why'd you do that to me? She's all like fucking with me. I was like, oh God, okay. I'm looking away, and she keeps going, look. And I look back, and she pulls out like, in my head, I keep calling like a magic crystal, but it's like some science piece tech of glass. She touches it to my finger, and like all the blood gets soaked back up, and like this magic crystal glass thing gets filled with all my blood. And I was like, oh God, like, okay, cool, neat. Thanks for sharing. She takes all my blood. She weighs me, all that stuff. And then we start walking over to, we leave that room, and we go back to like the main room with all the zombies, all these people like laying on these hospital beds. It's scary, Jason. Looks like a My Chemical Romance video.
That's what I was thinking.
Imagine if there was a music video for The End, okay? All those people are laying there like half dead. There's a screen 2 inches from their face. I don't know what's on the screen. They've got their ear pods in. I'm assuming they're watching like, if it's a Snoopy collab, I'm sure they're like watching episodes of Peanuts or something. I sit down, and she's all setting up, and she goes like, oh, like, did you know like today, like, if you donate blood, you get a free Snoopy shirt. And I probably should have been coy and been like, oh, what? That's crazy. That's awesome. But I was like, yeah, that's the only reason I'm here. And I was just like, oh, cool, great. And I was like, yeah, I just kind of want that shirt. And then she sits me down, she gives me a little piece of paper, and she's like, this is exercises you can do if you start feeling a little bit queasy. And I was like, don't need this. Tuck it under my thigh, and I kind of sit back, and I'm looking around, and then I see like all the people, all the Gen Zers I was just in the waiting room with, and I kind of see one girl that reminds me of Kylie, just like similar height. And then something about that, I was like, that would be like my Kylie stand-in. I'll look to her for safety. And then it wasn't until she got one of those like things that go around your arm and go like, tss, 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 you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the blood pressure? Yeah. I hate those things.
Yeah, I like them. They kind of make me feel tingly, but she puts it around my arm, and I was like, I thought we already got my blood pressure. And she's like, oh no, we're going to use this as a tourniquet. And the word tourniquet, I was like, oh, and like I get instantly hot and sweaty, and like I feel sweat go down my face. My blood just feels warm, and I'm like, oh, that was my second warning. I'm in the wrong spot. Maybe were those exercises. Let me start reading those. I'm all looking at them, and I don't remember them, but they're like, flex your thighs, clench your butthole, things like that. I'm like, oh, I start practicing it out a little bit. Then she starts like, oh, I got a good one. She starts like massaging my arm. Even doing this right now, it like makes me hurt.
Dude.
Okay, I didn't know I was queasy. Okay, and then she gets out like a magic marker. She starts drawing like what looks like a map on my arm. She draws like 2 lines parallel and like dots going down the middle. She's like, oh, these are like your vein marks. I was like, dude, I'm not feeling so good. I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little hot in here. And then it's not until she like gets the tube that will be taking my blood. And she's like, can you hold on to this? And I'm holding on to part of it in my hand. And then I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. I'm holding the thing that's going to be sucking out my blood. And then I'm start looking around the room like viciously. I'm like looking like eagerly. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And I'm looking like, where? And I look over, and I see I locate a trash can like under my chair to the left of me. And it's only till I see the trash can and go, oh shit. My body does this. This happened multiple times in my life where my body finds the trash can before I go, oh shit, that's why I think I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
My body does this. It's a very good safety feature. And I go, oh no. And I was like, I don't want to throw up. Please don't throw up. I do not want to do this right now. And I'm looking at my Kylie safety, and she's just ignoring me, has the screen 2 inches from her face. She puts the tube in my hands, and I'm holding it, and she's like, okay, here we go. And I'm looking at the Snoopy shirt. I'm just trying to like stay sane. I'm like flexing my butthole. I'm doing the exercises. And then she pops the needle in, and instantly I was like, oh, like it's a hot, cold needle. And I'm like, oh, I see like just like an inch of blood going down the tube. And then she's like, are you doing good? Or how you feeling? And I was like, oh. And she, like, I'm getting the feelings again right now. I was like, oh, I'm just a little queasy. I said the code word. I'm just a little queasy. And she goes, oh, okay. Towels! What? And she screams, and I was like, what? And then instantly, like in a blink of an eye, or I blacked out, I don't know, there are like 3 workers standing over me, and they're throwing like wet washcloths on my face and on my chest and on my body. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, a little dramatic, don't we think, boys? And then the lady starts going, she starts patting my thighs. And she's like, because she's sitting next to me, she's like, we're not going to take your blood today. We're not going to take your blood today. She's patting me like, let's go. No, take it. Just take it. I want the shirt. And I was like freaking out. And she's all patting my leg. And I'm like, you guys are overreacting. And then she starts telling me like, open your eyes. You need to open your eyes. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then like, I was like, oh, my eyes are clenched shut. You know, when you clench your eyes so shut, your ears kind of do like a low vibrating thing.
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of that. I'm like, and she goes like, you need to open your eyes. Open your eyes. And I'm like, what? And I shit, the scariest moment in my life. I open my eyes. Everything's still black. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I literally went daredevil mode. I was like, oh, and I start doing the Charlie Cox thing. I was like, oh. And she's like, she's like, what's she saying? She keeps saying like, we're not going to take your blood today. We're not going to take your blood today. And I will admit that made me feel a whole lot better. I don't think she was saying that I wouldn't be feeling as good, but I'm like, oh, just take it. I'm screaming like, just take the blood. And all of a sudden, I can't hear anything either. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what's happening? And like my ears are ringing. I can't hear anything. Like, you know, in the movies when like you get hit with a flash grenade, that shit is so accurate. Everything's black and like dark purple. Yeah, everything's black and dark purple. And you hear her like, and I was like, oh, what's happening? And I'm like screaming, take the blood. And then my vision starts slowly coming back. I can only see like bright lights. Like my vision and hearing went away instantly, but they came back so slowly. So my vision's coming back, it's slow. And then she's like, do you want a water? I'm like, I don't need water. Yes, I would like a water. And then she goes away for a second, comes back, and like the water bottle, I can only see things so close to my face. I already have bad vision as it is. And it's got like it's got a straw in it, but the straw only sticks out like half an inch out the bottle. So I got like a baba. And that's when my vision starts coming back for the most part. I'm like sucking on it. And then as my eyes like adjust to the real world, I look around, my vision comes back. It's dead quiet in the place. Half the people are just like staring at me. Like they all got like the screens in their face and they got the earbuds on. And I must have screamed so loud they heard me because like half of them are staring at me. And I was like, I'm sucking on my little baby bottle. And I'm like, I feel bad because like the girl, like I said, my Kylie's standing, I look over, she's like looks away out of respect, and I'm like, you're not accurate. Kylie would be laughing her ass off at me right now. And I'm sitting there for a minute, I'm like, man, this fucking sucks. And I'm like, in the moment, 100%, I was like, oh, this is gonna make for a great story. This is awesome. But also, I was like, I want to go home. I hate this. I've never been more embarrassed in my life. And the lady's all like, okay, you're gonna be okay. She's all patting my leg, and she's all like, do you still want a Snoopy shirt? And I was like, I don't want your fucking Snoopy shirt. I was like, I didn't deserve it. I told her, I don't deserve it.
I want no record of this.
I was not here. She's like, no, we'll give you a Snoopy shirt. And then she's like, what size are you? I'm like, honestly, I don't deserve it. Do not give me the shirt. She's like, what size are you? I'm like, extra large. She's like, okay. And then she goes over, she hands me the shirt and some stickers. And I was like, you bastard. These stickers say like, I gave blood, I'm a hero. And I was like, you didn't have to give me the stickers. I only wanted the shirt. So I'm like, I just want to go home. She's like, you can't leave for 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, damn it. She's like, you can go wait in the waiting room. So I go in the waiting room. She's like, you should go eat some snacks, get some water in you. And I was like, oh, can I sit down? And I go in the waiting room and I thought I was kind of like alone. I was sitting there for like 10 minutes and like, people are leaving. The people hopping in the waiting room, people are leaving. It's all these people. I'm like, I just don't want to be, I can wait it off in the car. Trust me, I'm not going to drive. And then one of the workers comes up, he looks over at me. He's like, not everyone can give blood. And I was like, oh, great. It's already passed through the whole chain of command. Everyone knows the rumor. Like, go make the ginger feel better. I'm not going to lie. I'm a pretty nice person. I know if you have to say that, you're probably not, but this is the most sour sport I've ever been. I was like, thanks. He's like, not everyone can give blood. It's you better luck next time. And I was like, I'm not coming back. I hate it.
Never again.
I just kept playing on my phone, and then my watch beeps. It's been 10 minutes, and then I'm walking out, and then one of the ladies behind the counter was like, oh, wait. I'm like, yep. And she goes like, drink some milk when you get home. And I was like, okay, thanks. Like they're all still trying. She said, maybe it wasn't milk. She gave me something where she's like, this will make you feel better. Everyone's like just feeling bad for me. I was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I go in the car. What makes it the worst is no one else was laughing. If people were laughing, honest to God, that would have made me feel better. Now if they did laugh, that would have been sadistic, weird of them, but also would have helped me. But no one was laughing. So I hop in the car. I either called you or Kylie first. Yeah. Either one. The first thing I said was like, I blacked out the Red Cross. And then laughter. And I was like, okay, I feel better. And then I went home and then I took off my name tag. They gave me a name tag and it's still in my car. And it says like, hello, my name's Curtis. I gave blood. I'm a hero. And I was like, you son of a bitch. My name is Kurt.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to Bird Bones.
Bird Bones!
Bird Bones!
Your story reminds me of the time that I went to the doctor and tried to get a flu shot, just trying to prepare myself for the flu season. My entire family, we go to the doctor and do the normal doctor thing. My mom gets her shot. My stepdad gets his shot. And then I get my shot. Well, Sarah was last.
Your little sister.
My sister, because she wore like a one-piece like outfit. She did not want to get the shot. So I got my shot.
That's smart. That's planning ahead.
Yeah. And then they were like, all right, we're going to have y'all step out because she has to basically get fully undressed for us to give her a shot.
How is it a onesie? Does it like, it's all connected down her arm? Where do you get the flu shot again?
Or I don't know. Or maybe it was just like a long sleeve or something. It was like something where she couldn't get a shot like in her shoulder.
Oh my God, that's genius. I'm going to do that next time. Don't have to get me naked.
So me and my stepdad step out. My mom stays in there to help. And like, dude, I am terrible with needles. Like as a kid, always hated getting shots. Never was a fan. They always had to fold me up like a damn pretzel and try to give me the shot. Like there was one time I locked myself in the bathroom for like an hour. So I'm out in the lobby and I'm like, I did it. That wasn't that bad. I'm good. And then I go and I'm texting my buddy Wesley and I'm like, dude, that wasn't that bad. Cause I was like kind of freaking out before that. And then like, I feel kind of funny. And then dude, like exactly like you, my vision starts going away.
Oh my God.
My ears get muffled and start
This is after
ringing.
you got the shot.
This is after I got the shot. I'm in the lobby and it's been like 10 minutes and I'm standing up like, yeah, that wasn't bad at all. That was great. I'm going to go get more shots. Vision goes away. Hearing gets blurry and ringing. Dude, I wake up with 3 nurses on top of me, slapping me in the face, screaming for the Dr. Reddy! Dr. And I'm like, what the hell? This is the first time I've ever passed out in my life. I'm on the ground and they're like, doctor, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, what happened? I'm like, you blacked out. I'm like, I blacked. And I passed out again. I passed out again. So I finally wake up and I'm like awake for a little bit more and they move me up against the wall and like give me a pillow. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what happened. And then like, apparently, dude, I passed out like 3 more times and I was having like convulsions. Like I was shaking and like, dude, they thought I was dying. It was the most terrifying thing in my life. Yeah. And then I finally woke up and they're like, do you want a granola bar? Same thing as you. I was like, nah, I'll take the granola bar.
Is this the same time, or you told me the story one time? I don't know if it's a different time you blacked out, but I remember the story you told me where you're all like,
that's not the only time. I've passed out several times since then.
You black out a lot?
That was like my firmware update, and now it's a feature. Like one time, I was getting my blood. I passed out getting my blood pressure taken, dude.
Is that what? Okay, is this the one? Is this one where you?
We were going to get tested for COVID, and we went in there, and I was standing up, and it was me, my stepdad, and my sister again, and we were in the office, and like they came over to get my blood pressure or whatever, and I was standing up against the bed, like just like leaning up, just standing normally. They didn't tell me to sit down. They didn't tell me anything. They're just like, all right, I'm gonna do this. The girl wrapped the thing around my arm, and then started doing it. And those things make me nervous anyways. I don't know why I hate them. They make me feel like they already make me feel kind of woozy. And dude, I'm standing there and then my dumbass crosses my legs. And apparently that's a big no-no. Don't cross your legs. And I wake up in the arms of the nurse. She caught me as I fell. She's like, you passed out. You're not supposed to cross your legs. I'm like, ah. So then they made me sit down on the table and they tried it again. And then I passed out and fell into the damn wall. So now I pass out when I get shots. And now I pass out when they take my blood. Unless I lay down on the table and really try not to.
Did you really think hard?
Dude, I thought really hard.
I have some great news for you. And before I even say the name of the movie, I will say I do not do. I want to make this very clear. I'm not a spoiler person. You know how some people be like, "Oh, it's not a spoiler," but and they'll tell you like something that wasn't like just because like they didn't say which character dies. I think it doesn't constitute a spoiler. I think jokes are spoilers. I think when someone goes like, "It's not a spoiler," but there's this really funny joke in the movie, and like they tell you like like that's a spoiler to me.
Yeah, it ruins the whole joke.
So I understand what are spoilers and what are not. So if I start talking about a movie, just know I'm fully aware of spoilers. Okay, I know what constitutes a good spoiler.
Yeah.
I saw Renfield. I'm probably saying the name wrong. Renfield last night. Have you ever heard about this one?
No, I haven't.
I will say that I didn't really care for it at all. I was like, oh, I saw like a trailer for it. I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. It's Nick Cage. He plays a vampire.
Oh, is it a new movie?
It's new. It came out. I don't know. It came out on Peacock pretty recently.
That's why I haven't seen it.
But it was in theaters also.
Oh.
Nick Cage plays a vampire. That's kind of like all I saw from the show. Like, oh, it's kind of funny. Nick Cage, I like him, whatever. And it wasn't until Kylie's little sister goes like, they played Na Na Na. And I was like, what? And I was just like, they played a My Chemical Romance song. And I was like, okay, I'll see this movie. So then we watched it last night on Peacock. Again, no spoilers, because I don't think people constitute even visual effects. The type of visual effects is spoilers. But oh my God, dude, the blood in this movie is beautiful. Oh. Now, I'm not gonna use the word camp, because I really don't know the definition of it. You know, like when people call things like, oh, it's so camp.
No.
It means like, if I can't describe a word, I probably shouldn't use it, but it means like goofy and like a charming way. Like people call like the original Spider-Man trilogy, they call anything Sam Raimi, the original Spider-Man trilogy with like Tobey Maguire, camp, or Evil Dead, like camp. Like it's kind of goofy. It kind of knows it's a movie, but it's still good. I'm probably butchering the term, so I won't use it.
Yeah.
Basically, the blood in this movie is goofy and beautiful. And okay, I could talk about visual effects for an hour. This is perfect. Okay.
Do you realize?
Yeah.
You realize that even though you're talking about visual effects, you're still talking about blood?
What do you mean?
Your first story was about blood. Now we're talking about blood again.
Oh my God, you're right. Okay. I'm not a bloody guy.
This guy's a vampire.
I can't stand the sight of blood. And I and I love all these blood things. I know. Fuck. Okay, my bad. Okay, so there's a whole thing where like people go like, oh my God, practical is better than CG. And there's a whole thing. I know I'm very biased. I love CG. People say like, oh my God, practical is so much better than CG because like it has a charm to it. It has like you can see the flaws in it. People see the flaws in practical effects, see charm. Like if you see fishing wire on an effect, you go, oh my God, I love that, right?
Yeah.
So I get the love for it. But CG doesn't get that love because CG's standard is like perfect. Like if you see a flaw in a CG movie, you go, well, that was the worst CG I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
So like it's kind of hard to love. I'm a big CG guy though. I love that stuff. But Renfield was the first time I've ever seen it felt, I can't explain it, dude. I think the best way to explain it is like the blood felt so goofy in a visual effects way. Not only was it like a abundance of blood, like, you know how when they do like practical blood in a movie, like they just cover the screen and like they have gallons of the stuff.
Yeah.
Blood. Gallons of the stuff will give you all that you can drink and
never be enough. Yeah.
They did that, but with CG. So like some guy like gets hit and like just even a punch is like just gallons of blood, and not even that, like it looks like fluid simulation. Like I can see like the Houdini watermark, like to get like this amazing, I can't explain it. I'm very bad at it. I don't know why I talked about visual effects on a podcast, but you should watch it if you like camp, because it's the first time I've ever seen camp in visual effects. Like they'll have fighting scenes. I'm trying not to spoil them too much. They'll have fighting scenes and you're like, it's CG, but it feels so, I shouldn't have brought this up. It feels so good and real and yummy. Yummy, but I will say.
Maybe you are a vampire.
Vampire noises. But I will say, I only watched the movie because My Chem was in it. If you only want to watch a movie because My Chem was used, don't watch this one.
If I only want to watch a movie because My Chem was in it?
Yeah, like the only reason I want to watch Tusk is because the ending is sung by Gerard Way.
So you said don't watch it?
Yeah, don't watch it if you only want to go for My Chem. They're using Na Na Na. What would you use the song Na 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 for? Na 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 Na. What would you use that for?
I'd probably use it in a situation where the character goes, nah.
Fuck you. So, like, I was thinking, because like we're watching the movie, I'm halfway through, I'm like, oh my God, they haven't used it yet. They're definitely saving for like the final boss battle or something like that. They use it for like a suit up scene. Like it's like, oh my God, we're getting ready. Na 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 na. And they use it for like 5 seconds. Like it starts off ding, 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 ding. And like they cut like the middle of the song to the ending of the song so it fades out nicely.
Oh.
But only people who know the song by heart will notice. They did that shit to me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of want to watch it just for the blood.
Watch it for the blood, but if you're going for the My Chem, it's low in the background, very quiet, and it was very disappointing.
That sucks.
Very happy that My Chem is still getting recognized. Also, it's a vampire. Why'd you use Vampire Money?
Any other My Chem song?
I can name 5 songs. Vampires Will Never Hurt You. The Sharpest Lives has the lyric vampire in there. These are all vampire songs. Vampire Money, About Twilight. You got any songs off 3 Cheers that say vampire? What was I saying though? Oh, visual effects. Back to visual effects. I made a comment on a TikTok video. Some guy posted a clip from the latest Fast and the Furious movie, obviously trying to be like, oh, haha, like, look how over the top this movie is. There's a car driving away from a big ass explosion. The flames, the fire, almost explosion, almost catches him. And then he hits the nitrous and he saves the day. It was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And I know like people go like, Fast and the Furious, this used to be a movie about street racing. Like, what happened? But you gotta understand, as a visual effects artist, I felt all wet and creamy inside. I was watching, I was like, I just want to be there. Oh my God, I was creaming my pants. Like, this is some of the most beautiful visual effects I've ever seen. It's not even like campy. I gotta stop using that word. It's not like it was. I commented, this is what visual effects was made for. Pure cinema. The pure cinema was a joke, but like this is what visual effects was made for. I truly believe that. Fast and the Furious is like they know how to put a VFX team to have a good time. And I got like not a bunch of hate, but I got comments going like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious, Kurt? What are you talking about right now? This is garbage." Jason, how do you feel about Fast and the Furious?
I feel like it's definitely gone away from its roots. Like, for example, I haven't even seen the last one yet.
I'm 5 behind. I've only watched the clips.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the shots from. I honestly do want to go see it just because it's funny now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's funny to like if you take it seriously and you're hoping for a return to the roots of Fast and Furious, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You have to go in there just wanting to laugh your ass off, and then it's the best movie you've ever seen. I will agree. Like, some of the set pieces that they do with visual effects are like seriously impressive. As a franchise, pretty trash. Visual effects are on point though.
I know, why can't people just admit that? People go like, oh, like I get what you're saying. Like you have to go in there, like it's not lowering, like you have to lower the bar, like have a good time. I for visual effects, I raise the bar. Go, how are they getting up?
Yeah.
Last time the car was in space. What are you guys gonna do now? You watch the latest one. You'll know the exact scene I'm talking about. It is some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And there's even a thing, like people are calling it goofy. I don't know how you can like love something for being camp. I gotta stop using that word. And they go like, oh, it's goofy. And they did something that man, I know what spoilers are. Alan is a spoiler. It's a visual effect. Visual effects don't constitute spoilers. Time moves slightly different. Like one character's like, moving slowly going, oh no. And then one character's like, oh, I'll save the day. Almost like an effect you'd see like in a Flash movie. He starts moving really fast. And I just loved it because the camera's moving. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'm not even making any sense right now. I fucking love Fast and the Furious. But I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Do you know any good movie recently? That's a hard one. Any good movie recently that has been like what a theoretical classic Fast and the Furious fan would be like, this is what I'm talking about. Down to earth street racing.
Honestly, no. I think that everything so far has just been kind of satire about Fast and Furious.
Have you seen Super Fast?
Yeah, there's Super Fast. There's another movie. I can't remember the name of it right now. But there hasn't been anything. Somebody might hate me for this, but back in 2014, the Need for Speed movie.
I forgot what your feelings are on it.
That movie, like, while the acting and the story wasn't exactly the best thing in the world, the racing in that movie was awesome. Like, everything in that movie was like practical for the most part, which is my favorite part. Is just like, dude, just a bunch of dudes and a bunch of cars with some cameras just out in the streets, just like that was sick. I love that movie for the car scenes alone.
What is it? This would be practical effects then, but I love flaws. I get why people like practical effects. They like flaws. But when you told me about Need for Speed, you told me like, oh my God, like there's a car jump. And as the car jumps, you can tell they switched it to the V6.
And that's part of the limitations of them doing all practical effects is they actually had to jump a Mustang, but they weren't going to jump.
An expensive. Was it a Shelby or something?
I'm just like, dude, was it too much to pay like an extra $6,000 for a set of wheels and tires that you're going to destroy on a car that's going to jump? Like, they went from like 20-inch, like Forgiato wheels or something, or Ford Star, or whatever, 20-inch, like big, beautiful wheels, BBWs. And then went to these tiny ass V6 Mustang, like base model wheels, mid jump, full side shot. Just does not look right at all. And that's like the biggest flaw, aside from all the kit cars who are obviously wrapped in 3M carbon fiber. And
is it true that like there's a massive shortage of like 1969 Chargers because of Dukes of Hazzard? Did they crash so many? They had to buy so many for the show.
They crashed a bunch of them. There's just a shortage for those cars also because they're old as hell.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, that too. But
I
I'm
mean-
saying like at the time,
I mean, but they did crash hundreds upon hundreds of charges. I don't know the exact number, but I feel like I recall John Schneider saying there were like 400 or something that they crashed.
did they crash one every episode?
Pretty much, they jumped one every episode, and it totaled the car every episode.
Oh my god.
They reused a couple. I think like the jumps weren't major enough to like total it, but in most of the scenes, you can see it land, and you see the whole damn chassis just blink, just fold in half.
And then it cuts and it's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I wonder if the same thing, not that there's a shortage of Crown Vics, but I've been watching a lot of Mythbusters lately. And every time they go, we picked up a piece of shit car for this, it's always a Crown Vic because they get them for like $500 and they just run. So I'm like, that's my car. But I'm like, is there going to be a shortage of Crown Vics? What's the dent that Mythbusters put in to Crown Vics? They blow one up every single episode, I swear.
Well-
They had one episode like, how can you stop a car? They got like 5 Crown Vics.
You know who even probably has more of a
Are
impact?
you talking about fucking Cletus McFarlane?
Yep.
I was hoping you would.
Because Cletus McFarlane buys those suckers like 20 at a time and then just puts roll cages and nitrous on every one of them and then runs them around the track. And like most of them get crashed. But dude, people like he's got some criticism because people are like, yo, you're crashing Crown Vics. Like, we're going to have a shortage of Crown Vics. And he's like, guys, listen, the reason we choose Crown Vics is because they made literally millions of them. We haven't even gotten like a couple hundred yet. Like it looks like a lot, but you gotta realize like
There's a
there's
bunch.
millions of Crown Vics. We are not responsible.
Is it
for
because what? Because the cops?
cop cars, taxis, just well, mostly cop cars and taxis, but yeah. And not to mention they built them from like 1990 to 2010 or something. Like they built
Oh, they have even older ones. I think you're talking about the modern one. They
yeah.
have even,
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about like your model Crown Vic, like that body style was built for like 20 years,
yeah.
unchanged.
Dude,
They're
I saw,
everywhere.
I was like, oh, I found out the Crown Vic went until 2011. Let me look up a 2011 Crown Vic. I'm like, that's my same fucking
Yeah, dude,
car.
they
I was like, they
didn't
didn't
change
change anything. Oh my God, that's actually my dream car. Not even kidding. Like I looked at a 2011 model and it looks just clean. Like they have like a nicer radio, everything in
Mhm.
there. And I was like, I think I just want to have Crown Vics forever. Because everyone always says that they get a car for a week, they fall in love with it, they go, I'm never going to get another car other than this. And maybe I'm still doing that. But like, I don't know. I had a Ford Ranger, it broke. But then I got like a modern Dodge Charger challenge. A Caliber. I had the Dodge Caliber 2011
What a
one. and that thing
downgrade
broke.
from the two things you said before it. I got a
Charger,
Charger
sorry, my
Challenger.
bad.
Wait, sorry. It was a Pinto.
I missed because the beginning of the C's. Fuck you. I saw a TikTok and it's all like people trying to start their cars before the year 2008, and it was like a SpongeBob clip where the car won't start. And I was like, I got rid of a 2011 to get a 1999 that runs flawlessly. Oh my God, Jason, I can't tell you enough how much I love this car. The more I beat it, the longer it lives. You can't kill it.
Not meaning to talk about Cletus McFarlane so many times.
No,
but,
please go
like,
back because he's my alter ego. If there's Curtis, there's Cletus.
Dude, literally, yeah. Like it's insane how much abuse these cars take. Like there's some of these cars that they've run in their races like multiple times and they're still going. And then there's, you know, for the month of freedom or whatever, they stood one up on blocks and just like put it in drive, put a brake on the gas pedal and let it go. And it ran for like 3 days straight or something. With just putting gas like at 120 miles an hour, 24 hours a day. They were trying to get it to run the whole month, but it eventually blew up, but they started messing with it. They like put nitrous on it and stuff while it was running, and it was not having
The
it.
guy who was like, you're wasting Crown Vics. I was like, I don't know. It sounds like he's using them for good. And you're like, one time they just try to see if they could break one. And I was like, okay, I get it now. I was like, I too would be pissed. I'm watching Mythbusters and I'm pissed when they just get one like, oh, it's not the one. They always put one underwater. It's not that one. But I'm telling you, like every time they do like, they should be sponsored by Ford or something like that. Every time they go, we picked up a car for cheap and it's like Crown Vic running top notch for $500.
Yeah.
I got mine for $4,000.
Yeah,
I definitely overpaid, but not overpaid. It was worth it.
Eh.
But also I probably could have got a better deal.
probably, but
He put
Who
a
cares?
backup cam in it. It was worth it.
oh, nice. Yeah.
I got it from an engineer. So I got it from, not engineer. I got it from a mechanic. So I know he took care of it.
My stepdad, he had a Nissan Rogue. We've had that car forever. And living in North Dallas, they get hailstorms pretty often. None of them have done any damage to it until like a couple weeks ago. They got a hellacious hailstorm up there. Dude, it totaled that poor
Hellacious.
car and like broke the windshield, then at every panel, like it was bad. Well, they go through insurance, they total the car.
You told me that and I didn't believe you.
Yeah, it's hard to fix that stuff. And when you have that many dents, it's going to cost more to fix than it's worth.
That's crazy.
There's like a certain percent where they'll like, okay, the car's worth this much, but it's only going to cost this much to fix it. So we'll fix it. But if it's like over that predetermined amount, like there's like, get rid of it. We'll buy a new car. Well, he decides that he's tired of having a Nissan Rogue. So he wants to get something cooler. And dude, him and my mom are like car shopping for 2 weeks and like sending me cars and sending me cars. And he decides on like a little Mercedes, like convertible. It's like a CLK or something. I'm not a Mercedes fan.
I don't get any luxury cars. When it goes to numbers, I check out.
Dude, it was a little convertible though. He was super stoked to get it. He got it on Monday. And then Friday got rear-ended.
Oh my God.
Dude.
You ever think you're the problem?
Yeah. Well, dude, he's never had like, I don't think he's ever totaled a car or been in an accident. And then Nissan Rogue gets totaled, Mercedes gets rear-ended, and then the guy ran. He had to chase him down to a freaking gas station and try to get his info.
Oh, segue. Tell us story that time you got into a. You don't want to?
Yeah. Well, there's
Because
not much.
that's never. I've never been in.
Yeah. No. There's not too much to that story. Except I was driving home from band practice. I was sitting at a light, and moral of the story is
You didn't even tell the fucking story.
no. The moral of the story is just go the way that you were thinking you should go, and don't last minute change your mind on the direction that you're going. Because
Okay.
I was driving home, and I was like, I'm just gonna go home, eat a snack, and I was like, ooh, Whataburger sure does sound good. So at my light, I could either turn right and go home, or I could go straight and get Whataburger. Well, I decide I'm going straight. My light turns green. There's a car coming down the road, the opposite direction, like oncoming lane. My light turns green. I'm like, cool. I start to go kind of, slow off the start. Bro, I look out my left window. There's just a car there out of no. I'm like, shit. Dude, before
You just got the headlights right in your face.
Bro, literally, before I even knew what was happening, my ass was backwards in the intersection. All the airbags deployed.
That's like the movies.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I was so, like, in shock. Dude, I opened the door, and I was like, I'm good. Okay, cool. Let me get this guy's insurance information. Bro, I get out of the car, start walking up to theirs. They, like, hit me and then, like, got stuck on a median. Start walking up to theirs. They throw that shit in reverse, back off the curb, and I'm like, okay, they're just moving out of the way. And then they take off down the road.
You're so optimistic. They're backing the car up, and you're like, they're just probably getting their insurance information.
Yeah. I was like, huh. And they take off. I'm like, shit. I run back around to my car, throw open the door, push the airbag out of the way, grab my phone out of the center console. And this is how much of a natural filmmaker I am because of you, Curtis. Dude, I take out the phone. I start recording in portrait. I'm like, wait, stop it, turn it sideways.
Oh my God.
And then I'm recording it. And I probably didn't even get their license. I didn't get their license plate. And it's probably because I stopped and said, wait, cinematic.
That is so funny. You were going to record
But I have a video of like my car just dead in the intersection. And then this dude, I mean, their car was totaled too.
Yeah, well, I was
And
about to say,
like-
how damaged is their car?
Dude,
Was it, like, scraping?
Their like front passenger side wheel was like clocked all the way sideways, and they were just going down the road like,
Just like, follow that sound.
dude, seriously, it was crazy. My car, like my rear wheel was like basically detached, so I couldn't follow him or anything, and I didn't want to leave the scene of the crash like an asshole. And like, dude, somebody pulled up and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." The dude ran. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then they just kept going. If I saw that shit happen, I would have chased that dude down and like tried to get justice for that person so bad.
Maybe that's what we think we'll do. And then we're actually going to be like that. You're like, are you okay? And he's like, that guy ran off. You're like, you guys like, actually, I'm on my way to Whataburger. I'm kind of in a hurry.
right. It was wild because like, I mean, I was not even a mile from home. My mom like came down the road. She was freaking out, and they helped me get my stuff out of the car. And then like, she sent me to the hospital to get checked. I was like, I'm fine. She made me go to the hospital. So I got to ride an ambulance for the first time, which was pretty cool. And I was like, dude, if I wasn't like going to the hospital, this would be a really fun time. Well, like I was perfectly fine. And like, they were going to take me in on the stretcher and they're like, do you think you can walk? I was like, yeah, I'm perfectly good. And like me and the paramedic, like we walked through the front door of the hospital and the people are like, what happened? I'm like, I got in a car accident. I'm like, is anything broken? I was like, No. Are you hurting anywhere? No. So then they gave me some $600 a pill Tylenol and then sent me on my way. And like, dude, that night we got in the car and we drove around like looking for this guy. And my mom made posts on Facebook. Bro, through our network of friends, we were able to actually figure out the path that this guy took.
How? Like, you followed the screeching?
Because it happened at 10:45, and there were people who are like, oh yeah, at like 10:52, I heard a screeching go past my house last night. I didn't know what the hell it was. And like, we mapped out, he went down this road, he took a right, he took a left.
Oh my
and he took
God.
like, we knew where he ended up. We just never found the car. Like, we felt like detectives, bro. But insurance covered everything. They paid me more for my car than I bought it for 6 months prior.
Oh, you made money.
So, yeah.
This has been the very first episode of Bird Bones. Thank you to everyone who made it this far. I think I had a good time.
I had a good time.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
I think we did pretty good. As we're closing out, thank you to everyone who's listening. While you got your phone in your hand, you're about to queue up another episode of Bird Bones, hopefully. Why don't you also throw in Jason's song recommendation of this week or this very first episode? Cue it up. Jason, what song is it?
I'm going to have to go with Time and Place by Queens of the Stone Age.
It is a banger.
It's a banger.
I do love it. I think it starts off really funky. I like I tried to text this to you. I was like, I like the way the beat changes because I'm not good with words. It goes like bang, bang, but I made it even worse. I do not know how to explain music.
That's a song spoiler right there. You got to let them experience it firsthand.
The beat at the beginning is the beat you hear all the way throughout the song.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Bird Bones. Next time on Bird Bones.
So I was in this Mormon kid's room. They were screaming for mercy.
And I hit one over the head with some D batteries.